Hello everyone. Take two. Hello everyone. Yes, I have actually turned on the microphone this time. I did not mean to blow out your eardrums. Something I don't tell people until I get back. I've just had a trip to Europe and I just don't tell anyone until I get back. So you would have had videos appearing on YouTube regularly because I found some old ones sitting there which I thought, yeah, I'll share these with you. And then I found some, I did some other ones ahead of time and scheduled everything ahead of time and went to Europe for a month. Yeah, exactly a month. So we've been back now for a few days and I thought I would show you some of the things I bought. Not everything. Because you don't need to see the chocolates I bought. You do, however, need to see one pair of the socks I bought. It says, no kangaroos in Austria. Why do they need that? I bought this at Vienna Airport. Why do they need this? Because apparently a lot of people, I'm not naming Americans at all, go to Austria when they think they're coming to Australia. And I have heard that there is actually a counter for people who get to Austria when they mean to go to Australia. And the Austrians are very funny. They have made these. I could have bought a tote bag. I could have bought a t-shirt. I bought socks because I need socks. Let's ignore the fact that I bought socks in a number of places. So anyway, we went to Prague, and I'm going to tell you things totally out of order. But we went to Prague, and while in Prague, we went to the various synagogues there. Basically, we did the synagogue tour, and I bought some books. I thought I bought 4. No, I didn't. I bought 3. So, Jewish Prague, that should be interesting. It's a very small publication, being 56 pages or something. The synagogues really are, some of them are that gorgeous. I bought this about Prague synagogues just because I can. And then I bought this, the Prague of Golem. No, Prague Golem, Jewish Stories of the Ghetto. So Prague is known in Jewish circles for the Golem. That's where it was in. That's where it was. That's where the story was written, the original story. And you can find golems in many pieces of literature throughout. I don't know actually how far it goes. You can actually find golems in Terry Pratchett's books, where he writes quite favourably about them and about freeing them. I am sorry for my coughing. I picked up a bug in Vienna. I spent 2 days in bed. Instead of going out and looking at Vienna, I spent 2 days in bed. It meant I came home slightly lighter than I was before because I didn't eat much for 2 days, but that's all irrelevant. Yeah, so that should be good. A number of stories about the Golem. I also bought, we were in, why did I think this was Strata? So here we are. We're in a little place in Poland called Złoto. I'm going to try and get the pronunciation a little bit closer because the L in Złoto has a cross through it, which I think means it's a W sound, and the W I think is a F sound. So that makes it sort of, I think. And anyway, so here we are in just walking around the streets looking at the shops, and we walk up these steps onto this little, not boulevard. I used the word boardwalk in my blog, but I'm sure that's not quite right. And there's some shops that sorry, but talking makes me cough. I will be better in due course. And on this little section of shops, about a dozen steps or so up, is a little bookshop. I took a photograph of the outside. I went inside, and it was such a gorgeous little shop. That some of the books were upright like that. Some of them were like that, so you could read the spines. And we saw this one. We saw that. And I said, I have to have this. Essentially, it's Terry Pratchett's first Discworld book in Polish. So I can't read it. Oh, there's words like rincewind. I can read that. Absolutely no idea what I'm going to do with this. There are excuse me. I'll try and find. I saw an illustration. I did see an illustration. Okay. Oh, here we go. This is nice. So, that is just lovely. And there's a small version in various parts, beginnings of something. If I could read it, I would know. But I can't. So, absolutely no idea what I'm going to do with this. And in my blog, I called it Strata, but it's not Strata. It's the colour of magic. Don't know what I'll do with that. I'll worry about it another day. I also bought, this was Vienna. This is our third and last day. And after this, we were going to be flying home. And I had a bit of energy. So we had afternoon tea, and then we spoke to a cousin who just happens to be in Vienna for a while, I don't know, a year or two. He's teaching English there. And on our way back to the hotel, well, I was going back to the hotel. The family was going on to have dinner with another family member. I didn't make it. I just did not have the energy. We went into a bookshop. I said, I want to go into this antique bookshop. And the bookshop is, do I have the name of the shop on these receipts? It is called Antiquariat am Stubentor. There you go. So, literature, Sachbucher, and Schallplatten. Anyway, I'm looking around, I'm getting all emotional, and there are these absolutely gorgeous books on the counter, and they are big, and they are old. And I said to the lady behind the counter, who just happened to have enough English, because not everyone does. Some of the lady I bought the Terry Pratchett from, she had, I think, 1 or 2 words of English. In other words, more English than I have Polish. So that was useful. So this lady in the Vienna bookshop, excuse me, she had quite good English. And so I told her, these books are beautiful, but I cannot afford them, and I cannot get them into my luggage, because some of them were like a bit bigger than that. So that thick and bigger than that. You know, pretty hard to get in anyone's luggage. Although it's possible I could have fitted one only. But if they were from a set, then absolutely no way. So I took another look around. And my eyes happened to glance on this. And I fell in love. Instantly. I have very little German. I have more German than I have Polish, but that's very little. I did not even try to translate this, whether in using my little German or using Google Translate. I didn't even try. I looked inside. Oh, excuse me. I looked inside and I found this page. And I went, 1930. That's almost 100 years old. I mean, it's now 2026 and it's like 96 years old. And I just had to have it. Oh, it's got 1930 on the front cover. Now I notice. Now, what it is poetry. My daughter walked in behind me and I said to her, well, at least it's not romance. And the lady behind the counter laughed uproariously. And then I bought it. And we're looking at it in the park later. And I'm told it's love poetry. There we go. There's a reason that lady laughed. But I may not ever read it. But it is a beautiful book. I mean, seriously, I am so in love with this book. It was published before Nazis came to power. So that was 1933. So this is 3 years earlier. Anyway, that's it. That's mine. I may lend it to people if you happen to have enough German. I'm going to have to stop talking so I can stop coughing. 2 other things I want to show you are CDs. Back in 2020. So, cello is my favourite instrument of all time. And what could be better than one cello, but 2 cellos? So we saw them 2019, I think, 2018, I can't remember. We went to, we were in Europe. And we went from, basically, I think it was Luxembourg, all the way to Frankfurt to see 2 cellos in concert, because I had absolutely missed them when they came out to Australia. Don't need that long. Not that long. Several months earlier. I'd found out about them being in Melbourne the day after the concert. So here we are. We go across to Frankfurt from Luxembourg via a little place called Liège. And in Liège we have some absolutely amazing coffee, some even better chocolate, and we walk up the 396 steps or whatever they were. 392? Can't remember. It was a lot of steps. It's famous. And then we went to Frankfurt and we saw the concert, and then we went on with our trip. So, what could be better than 2 cellos? How about 4 cellos? So in 2020, I discovered the Prague Cello Quartet, and I bought 3 of their CDs. And because of COVID, they took months to get here. Like, I think I ordered them in February or March, and they got here in August. It was a long time, but the music is fantastic. And in the meantime, I watched them on YouTube. And I've continued watching them on YouTube at odd times. And since we're in Prague, I went and I bought the other 2 CDs that they have. Isn't that nice? So I've now got 5 CDs by the Prague Cello Quartet. So I had so much trouble with their website. I was going to order from here, from home, and have them sent to the hotel. And I even got advice from the hotel about this, and they said, yes, not a problem. Label it with the dates you're going to be here so we can store them easily. And I kept on having a look at their website, and eventually I decided I would leave it until early in our trip so that they weren't stored at the hotel for too long. And their website indicated, at one stage I looked at it and started the ordering process, and their website seemed to indicate that they would dispatch within 4 hours. And I thought, that's a bit odd. What happens if it's overnight? So I just kept on putting it off and continually going back and starting the ordering process. I must have started the ordering process, I don't know, half a dozen times over the course of about 6 months. No, I wasn't away for 6 months, but this is how long I've been planning this for. And finally, I waited till I got to Prague, and that night when we got to Prague, in the hotel room, I ordered them and had no idea what to do then. So I gave it as long as I could, and then I sent them a message and I said, hey, this is my problem. I'm leaving Prague tomorrow. No, I think I said the day after tomorrow. And I haven't heard, and etc., etc. And I'm in the Hotel Elysee. And Jan, who I do not know which Jan is, do not know, here we go. Jan is one of these 4 men. And he said that they would drop it at the Hotel Elysee. So they did. They stuck it in this, put my name on it, and someone, one of their office people, I don't know, dropped it at our hotel for me. And they rang up to the room and had it delivered to our room for me. So now I have 5 CDs of the Prague Cello Quartet. I am very happy. I will be very happy to listen to those. They will get me through more writing, and that will be a good thing. That's actually all the things I wanted to show you. I'm not showing you the material that we bought in Eberswalde, but they are lovely. I'm hoping to make, or have someone make me some tops, which I will probably wear on camera at odd times. I bought chocolate all over the place because chocolate. We went to the Ritter store in Berlin and bought lots of chocolate. We went to the Wedel factory in Warsaw. I bought more chocolate. And I went to the market in Prague where I bought more chocolate. Actually, I should have brought you the one of those chocolates to show you the packaging, because it's Good Soldier Schweike packaging. So that's a book written by a German author, and Prague has adopted it. There are 3 restaurants in Prague, at least 3, dedicated to the Good Soldier Schweike. And then there's all this chocolate, which has, the packaging is Schweike packaging, and you've got the man himself on the packaging. What else do I really have to mention? So I should have brought that with me to show you, but that's at the other end of the house, so you'll never see that. In Prague, if you go there, there's a cake. If you're not gluten-free, you need to buy it because it is wonderful. It is a chimney cake, so basically they take, I think it's a yeast dough, and they take it and they wrap it around a thing, which they then put on the coals, on the heat, and they turn it to make it cook evenly, and then they slip it off, and it's got hole in the bottom, hole in the top, and they put it in the thing and then fill it with various things. I had dark chocolate, because I didn't want any more sugar, but you can have Nutella, and you can have apple, make it like an apple strudel, and then ice cream on top. But I just didn't want all the calories at that point. I was starting to overdose on calories. So anyway, that's a fabulous thing. I am drooling, and if I had the skills, I would put a thing up in the top corner of the chimney cake. Which way do I want my hand to be facing? Of the chimney cake, I would put it up here, obliterating my hand, but no, I don't have those skills. You'll have to go and do a Google search. They're really a fabulous thing. The synagogues are beautiful. Vienna is absolutely amazing, what I saw of it. What else? Bialystok was fantastic. I got to walk along the street where my grandfather lived. I had two foods that took me right back to my childhood. I felt like I was 5 years old again. One was a pickle, dill pickles. Maybe it was dill, I don't remember, but it was pickle, and the flavour just took me right back. It's what we used to eat. And the other one was a cheese. It was a block. It looked like cottage cheese, but it was a block, and you could cut it with a knife. And I don't know that I actually liked it all that much, but I would eat it again because it took me right back. I really felt like I was 5 years old, back in the old family home in Hawthorne. And that's what it does to me. Anyway, Soshoff was delightful. Okay, I'm giving up. I'm sorry that you've had to listen to me cough. I hope I haven't blown out your eardrums. It's been about a week since we've been home, and my cough is still going. My eardrum is playing up as if it's blocking and unblocking. I'm not quite as exhausted as I was. And it was a great time. Did so much walking. So much food. And I lost weight. But that's what happens when you don't eat for most of 2 days. Anyway, thank you for bearing with me. I'll see you on another one. Oh, yes, I lied. I won't hang up just yet. I do have various videos that I took. One in Prague of Franz Kafka. It's a bust, and it's got various layers, and it turns, and I will put that up on YouTube. I know other people have done it, but it is just amazing. I may or may not layer that with some kind of voiceover. I have not decided yet. So I'll probably put this up in about a week, because I've got one more video scheduled for tomorrow morning. And then this one will go up a week later. So by the time this goes up, I will have stopped coughing. And I'm going to hang up now before I cough some more. Night all.